At what point did you realize Steph Curry was one of those guys? You know, one of the all-time greats who revolutionized the sport, becoming part of the elite group of players we all call legends. Someone made the case that it happened in 2016 after capturing the first unanimous MVP in NBA history. Others would say it was after leading a dynasty to 3 championships in 4 years. What you often hear is that Steph undeniably cemented himself as one of those guys after what he did in 2022. In one of the all-time great playoff runs, we saw a version of Curry that we'd never seen before. As he single-handedly willed the Warriors to a title, he sent teams to bed, delivered a legacy-defining finals performance, and launched a barrage of three-pointers that silenced any doubt around his greatness. Steph's 2022 playoff run was a masterpiece, one worthy of a legend.
So when people say, what do you think about when you shoot? I'm like, absolutely nothing.
The Warriors are down 1 to the Toronto Raptors with 9.6 seconds left in Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals. On their hunt for the three-piece, injuries had taken Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant out of this critical possession to force a Game 7, leaving just one man up to the task. An NBA championship on the line, Curry missed the three. Toronto won the championship, and the Warriors' hopes for another title went into a free fall. Less than a month later, KD went off to Brooklyn in free agency. It was announced that Klay would be sidelined with a torn ACL for the entire 2020 season. And just 4 games in, Steph Curry broke his hand and his season was over. After a memorable 5-year final stretch where they won 3 titles in 4 years and offered us countless iconic moments, the message from the basketball gods was loud and clear. Golden State's reign over the NBA was done. In fact, they took it one step further. Just weeks out from making his long-awaited return for the 2021 season, Klay suffered a devastating Achilles tear that would sideline him for another year. An absolutely gut-wrenching moment for the franchise. But the one bright spot in all of this is that the babyface assassin was about to go on a killing spree. In a season that many argue was up to par or even better than his 2016 campaign, Curry averaged 32 a night on god-tier efficiency. He finished 3rd in MVP voting, but they lost in the play-in game to the Memphis Grizzlies. Curry took them as far as humanly possible, and now 3 years removed from his last title, the media doubted his ability to carry a team back to mountaintop. They said it was over. The noise was loud after that loss to Memphis, but deep down, Steph knew it wasn't over. Just yet.
Tried to make the most of it, come back, bottle this up, everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer, and don't want to see us next year.
Curry's message echoed throughout the NBA as the Warriors came out with a flaming hot 18-2 record to start the season. It was magical. The Dubs were among championship favorites. Steph was in the MVP conversation once again, and as the calendar flipped to December, he was on the cusp of something he'd been chasing his entire career. On December 14th, 2021, Steph was entering Madison Square Garden, just 2 3-pointers away from breaking the NBA's all-time 3-point record, and it took him no time to make history.
Curry went to fly. Oh, and there it is, right away. He has tied Ray Allen. Again, here's Curry for the record. It's good. There it is. Stephen Curry.
The greatest shooter ever. Officially, we knew Steph was the GOAT shooter for a while, But now, he was immortalized as the three-point king of the NBA. The Chef's record-breaking night gave the Warriors a boost, and as Klay returned halfway throughout the season, he kicked it into overdrive. And it was smooth sailing from that point forward, until it wasn't.
Steph right there, he had that left ankle rolled under as Smart got on the deck.
Steph, you see him to the right there, just limping.
And what they're looking at is...
In a potential finals matchup against the Boston Celtics, just weeks out from the start of the playoffs, Marcus Smart dives for a loose ball and lands directly on Curry's left ankle. And it was bad. He left the game and was diagnosed with a left foot sprain, putting him out for the final 12 games of the regular season. Thankfully, Golden State finished the year strong and snagged a third seed in the West. But the health of their MVP was worrisome, especially headed into a first round matchup against the MVP. Headed into round 1, the Warriors got some good news. Steph was good to go. Well, sort of. He'd be coming off the bench for the splash homie Jordan Poole, and it proved to be a deadly tag team duo. The Dubs clobbered Denver by 16, Steph shook off some rust, and he got rolling in game 2. And
so that's one. Oh, so this is first one. So, this is one. What's up? This is one. Yo, I press I want it. Yo, smash the opponent. Everybody geek, everybody love it. Let's get loaded. Yo, get loaded. Yo, we gon' get loaded. I see the light coming. Don't worry, don't freak out. We good, all good. Try something out with you.
a filthy spinning layup in traffic, and a fake that had Jermichael Green spinning before draining the step back 3 for the N1. Man, he's ecstatic to be back in the playoffs. The Chef fried the Nuggets for 34, and they go up 2-0. In game 3, 6-man Steph poured in 27 at altitude. They squeezed out a 5-point win to go up 3-0, and in game 4, he went stupid. 33 points, 8 assists, and 4 steals. Denver ended up winning that game. Inserted back into the starting lineup in game 5, Steph went nuts for 35 and 5, including a dominant 11-point fourth quarter with no bucket, more clutch than his lefty scoop layup to push the lead to 5. Putting Denver in the MVP to bed. Night night. You don't want to see us next year. Those were the words uttered by Steph after Memphis sent them home last year. And 1 year later, in the edition of his splash, bro, that statement was heard loud and clear. Game 1 was a dogfight that went down to the wire. And with the Grizzlies up 2 with less than 40 seconds left, Klay comes off a screen, fakes, fires, and buries the go-ahead 3. Steph knew it was good before it even went in. The Dubs steal game 1 on the road, and he let the young Grizzlies hear it. As Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. stand under the hoop, stunned, Curry comes up to them with a huge smile on his face, saying,
"Fellas, come on! Come on! I know!
But his taunting didn't age well in the short term. In game 2, John went full guns blazing, erupting for 47, 8, and 8, in a 5-point win to tie the series at 1. And he gets a little payback. After the buzzer sounds, he walks by Steph telling him, "We're about to have some fun." And obviously, that was in reference to what Curry said at the end of game 1. In a game 3 response, 30 went for 30 as they obliterated Memphis by 30. It was poetic. And in game 4, with an opportunity to go up 3-1, Curry surprisingly came out flat. Through 3 quarters, he had just 14 points on a rough 6 of 18 shooting, with the Dubs down 7. So feeling the weight of the moment, Steph came out in the 4th looking for blood. Steph delivered in the clutch with a monster 18-point fourth quarter. Golden State goes up 3-1. Game 5 with a chance to close it out. They got annihilated by 39 on the road, setting up a Game 6 back in the Bay. And it was a splash, bro. Classic. Game 6 Clay made his long-awaited return, exploding for 30 points and 8 threes, while Steph tagged on 27 points, 7 boards, 5 dimes, and 6 triples, including a tough step-back corner 3 to book a ticket to the Western Conference Finals. A Slovenian monster was the only thing standing between the Warriors and a return to the NBA Finals. And considering this dude just embarrassed the NBA's #1 seed in the second round, they were about to have their hands full. However, in Game 1, that wasn't the case. With 7 players scoring in double digits, the Dubs massacred Dallas by 25, but Game 2 was showtime. It was an all-out duel between Luka and Steph as these offensive juggernauts went back and forth at each other, with some of the toughest shot making you'll ever see. The Don showed out for a light 42, but it was the chef who served up at the right time. A tough and one on Luka into a pump fake sidestep 3 for the dagger to seal the Game 2 win with an early series night-night. A sign of what was to come. After dropping 32 in Game 2, Curry put his team on the cusp of a 3-0 series lead, and the Human Torch wasn't going to let that opportunity slide over. In an absolute shooting clinic, Steph rained down bomb after no-look bomb for 31, 5, and 11 in the win. Dallas managed to snag one at home in Game 4 before Steph and the Warriors sent them packing with a gentleman's sweep on home court. Golden State is headed back to the NBA Finals. And to no surprise, Curry is named the Western Conference Finals MVP. But don't let that smile fool you. He wanted more. The killer inside of him wanted much, much more. 3 years after their last appearance, 2 years after having the worst record in the NBA, 1 year after missing the playoffs, the Warriors are back in the NBA Finals against a storied franchise. Desperate for a championship, but not as desperate as one man. In the first quarter of Game 1 made that very clear.
My jello no lace, Margiela no lace, white bitch lady, yeah. Black bitch want my baby, yeah. Kate Moss, Katie, yeah. 2 hoes, 1 in cage.
The dude was back like he never left, unleashing a Curry flurry with a 21-point, 6-3 first quarter. Steph was back, the Warriors were back, but Boston didn't care. After weathering the flurry, they caught fire in the fourth to walk away with a shocking Game 1 win on the road. Game 2 wasn't much of a shock. Steph and the Warriors answered with a dominant performance to win by 19 and to tie the series at 1-1. Headed to Boston, Game 3, in one of the most hostile environments in the NBA, was a real test for the Warriors as they found themselves down 12 at the end of the first half. Sensing the game slipping away, Steph hopped in the driver's seat. A quick pop shot right wing 3, a wet top of the key triple, a smooth pullback mid-ranger, a 30-foot missile plus the foul. Yep, count them up, Steph. And another 3 to cap off a dazzling 15-point quarter to cut the lead to 4. It was legendary stuff. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough as the Celtics pulled away late. And with 4 minutes to go in the fourth, it got worse. On a scramble for a loose ball, Al Horford dives on the floor and lands right on Curry's left ankle. The same one Marcus Smart had landed on late in the regular season that had Steph out for over 12 games. He's clearly very shaken up, screaming in pain, and wincing as he gets up. Minutes later, he subs out the game and sits on the bench with a towel on top of his head. This doesn't look good. In a game that can only be described as the defining moment of his entire career, Steph Curry put on a show for the ages. Down 2-1 in the series behind enemy lines in what may very well be his last gasp at a championship, the man single-handedly willed his team to victory with a 43-point masterpiece. The emotion and intensity Steph displayed was very atypical. You don't see him act in this fashion too often. He was playing with the desperation of a man who knew this moment may never come again. He truly tapped into a zone that only the greats can reach. It was the performance of a lifetime. After his Game 4 carry job, Steph was out of gas in Game 5, but thankfully Wiggins, Clay, and Poole was right there to pick up the pace to close out a crucial Game 5 at home to get themselves within one win of the championship. Back in Boston for Game 6, the Warriors were shot out of a cannon as they went on a blistering 21-0 run through the first and second quarter, allowing them to enter halftime up 15 with Steph about to make his imprint on the game. In a dominant fourth quarter, he lined up the seams one last time as he put the finishing touches on a career-defining season. One that saw him shatter the three-point record, be named one of the greatest players in the history of the game, and deliver a finals performance that will never be forgotten, while silencing all doubt around his greatness with a symbolic corner three that cemented him as a legend. Night night.